Hi everybody, this is Osprey from MyChartCoach.com, and in this video we're going to take a look at the cryptocurrencies. We're going to look at Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, Litecoin, Ripple, Monero, EOS, IOTA, SALT, that GR, just a lot of. We're going to look at a bunch of them. TRX, GRC, yeah. And so this is the deal. Last night, you know, the Asian markets open up, late at night, and around midnight last night, the action really started to get popping here for all the Bitcoin related stocks, all the Bitcoin currencies. You know, for the Bitstamp and the Coinbase, they both started bouncing at the same time, and that created all across the cryptocurrencies. They all started bouncing at the same time last night. And so if you were watching our last video, you saw that we were in real time. We were able to film this big drop, the big drop to the bottom and the bounce. It just happened where I was filming a video right when all the action was happening. So I highly recommend you watching our last cryptocurrency video, and then you could see the whole crazy bounce off the bottom for Bitcoin and the long upper wicks that formed for all these cryptocurrencies. It happened all the way across the board. It was obviously some program trading going on. You know, the guy from CNBC there, Brian, Bitcoin guy, you know, he said he bought Bitcoin at 11,000, and so you can see it dip down here. I was watching the action, and it was at 11,000 for only a couple minutes, so I'm not sure how he got in at that level, if he was loading at futures. So in my mind, all those big players like that CNBC guy and everybody else, they worked this situation, and they drove that thing down on a fairly light volume and during futures trading here on Friday, right before the market opened on Friday, late Thursday night, Friday morning, and then everybody loaded. You can see the giant volume bar, and so all the big players, they were able to get in down here at the bottom while everybody else was sleeping. Not sure how they pulled that off, but it's all in the charts, and he even admitted that on CNBC that he got 11,000. So yeah, so there's a lot going on here, a lot of manipulation, a lot of people are working the system, and there's a lot of retail investors getting whipsawed and getting worked. Okay, so let's just look at the charts now. What's going on is it dropped below the middle Bollinger Band. That's this solid line right here, and it dropped below that level on Friday. And so if that line fails to break, it's currently at basically 15,890. If it fails to get above that level, then that could signal this new downtrend has started and that will continue. Notice that the EMA4, this pink line, the candles are still below EMA4 at 15,288. It has to get above that level to start the bounce. Right now, today, bullish Harami reversal pattern is forming. So there is a reversal pattern following what was that, 6 red volume bars in a row. And so after a 6-day pullback and that huge bounce, so keep in mind when you see a long lower wick like that and then a giant volume bar at the bottom of a multi-day drop, that is the load. That is the load. That's what we look for. We look for that to jump in. And so people that loaded on that pullback, you know, they're looking good today. They're up well, but it has to get back above that middle Bollinger Band to get that uptrend going. If it doesn't, that's going to signal downside risk. As you can see here, this is the chart that these are the annotations from before. Yeah, I guess this was from the 15-minute chart, but what happened was it came back down and it's dropped below the current major resistance level. It's back below 16,000, and then now it's struggling with 15,000. So it's got to get back above, turn 15,000 into support, and it needs to hold 14,000. 14,000 was a big level to bust through in order to break this breakout up to that above 19,000 level. So if it fails to get above that level, that's going to signal more pressure and downside risk. Now, if you look at the Coinbase chart, you can see here that it's actually forming an even stronger pattern today. So following 6 red candles in a row, and then check out the long lower wick. I mean, this dropped well below the lower Bollinger Band, and so this might have been the one that the CNBC guy was loading at 11,000. Regardless, whoever was loading, it was only accredited investors. It wasn't the small-time retail people that have been the ones pushing the stock. It was all the big players, because it was futures trading were the only ones that got these low levels, these low load levels. It was only the big time players. The big players make bank, and the little guys are just along for the ride. And so right now we have bearish or bullish engulfing reversal pattern. This is a very strong pattern, stronger than the Bitstamp pattern. Now, if the same situation's happening, this is currently breaking EMA4 right now as we speak. That is the key level to get above, that pink line, currently at 15,434. If it can get above that level, that's going to signal that it wants to head higher. Now the upper wick on today's candle is hitting the middle Bollinger Band, currently at 16,235. If you can get above that level and turn that back into support, then we're talking about this another push higher. Now, if it fails to get above this 16,261 level, the middle Bollinger Band level, then that's going to signal that the downtrend is still strong, this new downtrend, and then you're going to be looking at a push back down here to that lower Bollinger Band and that 11 to 12,000 level. So it's going to be really important that it breaks above 16,000, turns the middle Bollinger Band on the daily chart into support. Okay, let's look at Bitcoin Cash. Okay, so Bitcoin Cash is bouncing today. It's forming a nice bullish engulfing reversal pattern. As you can see here, after a multi-day run, it formed bearish Harami reversal pattern. That pattern was confirmed yesterday. Notice that there was the long lower wick. Everybody was loading, at 12 o'clock at night, 1 o'clock in the morning, when most people were sleeping in the United States. The crypto players were loading up, those little guys, or the big players, and they filled up, and now they're all sitting pretty. I mean, these people are up like 100. People. It was such a manipulated situation. I mean, these guys are up 100% now that bought down here, and they took it down on light volume. It was so manipulated. I mean, this is reminding me of the penny stocks, and this is how the penny stocks and the OTC traded before regulation really stepped in, and they cracked down and really cleaned up. And so that's kind of how these cryptocurrencies are trading. So buyer beware. You need to know how to trade. I highly recommend you coming into our chat and learning how to use the charts and technical analysis for your entry and exit points, or else you too will end up being on the wrong side of the trade. You don't want to be chasing these things. You want to buy them on the dip. Look at Ethereum here. It made that huge dip down to 500. People loaded heavy at 500. Look at the volume bar. There was huge volume at the bottom. They drove it down on nothing, and then they freaking loaded up heavy, and then bam, it bounced way back. Now you've got bullish Harami reversal pattern forming. The candles are above the middle Bollinger Band. Ethereum is much stronger than Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash. It's still in an uptrend. You have EMA4 here. The pink line is pinched with EMA8, the lime line. If they cross over, if the EMA4 crosses EMA8 to the downside, that is an early reversal signal, bearish reversal signal. You want to see that pink line stay above the lime line. And then now the candles need to break back above this key resistance level. So it needs to break that 745 resistance zone. If you see Ethereum back above 745, then you're looking at a potential run back up here to this 817 high close and a possible breakout higher. If it fails to get back above that 745, that's going to be a red flag, and then you're going to be looking at the middle Bollinger Band down here at 611 being retested. Okay, let's look at Litecoin. Okay, so Litecoin once again has a better chart than Bitcoin, and Bitcoin, the two Bitcoin charts. It had the beautiful run. And then, as you can see, we alerted down here at $100, that it was breaking out. And each one of these charts we alerted at low levels, and everybody had a chance to make huge profits if they were following our charts and technical analysis. So yeah, please follow me on StockTwits. I really appreciate that. And as you can see here, that break above, it ran all the way up, and it hit almost 380 up here for a high. So those were some huge percentage gains. It pulled back. What you've got today is it actually looks like what's going on is today's open was below yesterday's close, it looks like, just slightly, and then today's candle is penetrating into the candle from Friday, and so what that forms is bullish piercing line reversal pattern is forming today. That's another good reversal pattern. The green candle today needs to close halfway or more into the previous red candle, and that would form that reversal pattern. What it needs to do is break back above EMA4 at 292. If it can get back above 292, that's going to be a signal that the chart is heating back up, and then once it gets back above 309, once the candles are above EMA's 4 and 8, that's when the chart can start running again. Notice that the chart was really cooking when the candles are riding EMA's 4 and 8 support higher. Right now, you have a bearish crossover with EMA4 across the EMA8 to the downside. That pink line's got to get back above the lime line, and the green candles need to get back above as well. And then you're looking at, if they can get back above both lines, 357 is the big level to break. Above 357 signals more upside. If it fails to break back above EMAs 4 and 8, be looking for a drop back down to 233 middle Bollinger Band support. Okay, let's look at Ripple here. XRP, another great call by us. Not tooting my horn, I'm just saying that all we're doing is following the charts, and we can teach you how to do this too, where every day you can be making the correct calls. All I'm doing is just interpreting the charts and just relaying that information to everyone, and so it's actually once you put in the practice and the time and effort, it can become really easy to be able to see where the direction and where the movement is headed. And so for XRP, we put out alerts about this break above, we were down here on the break in the 30s, and we put out alerts. This was the last one above 47, and then check out how it ran all the way up. It was a couple 100% gainer if you jumped in on that 47%, and then or more. And yeah, and so today what's going on is this is a much stronger chart. Ripple has one of the strongest charts right now. Okay, so it's above the middle Bollinger Band. Candles are still riding EMA's 4 and 8 support higher. EMA 8's down here, okay, down at 86. It's bounced off of EMA 4 here at 98, 99 today. A bearish Harami reversal pattern formed yesterday. It's trying to confirm that pattern, but a doji is forming today. It's holding up really well. XRP didn't get crushed like the other stocks. This is by far one of the strongest charts, so it's still signaling more upside potential. What you want to see if you're a bull is a break above 112, 113. If you can see a close above 113, that's going to signal it wants to push higher. If 105 turns into resistance, then you're going to look at a test here of that 99 EMA 4 support level. If EMA 4 support breaks, that's going to be your red flag, and that's when you're going to see a drop down to 86. As long as the middle Bollinger Band way down here at 56 is holding, the uptrend is intact. Okay, let's take a look at Monero. This is another chart that had just a beautiful uptrend. I mean, we kept putting out alerts on this thing way down here at 80 bucks and 100 bucks, and it just kept going and going and going and going and going, and this was just a giant freaking winner. It did so well. Congrats to everybody that was riding this Monero wave. I mean, everybody was talking about Bitcoin and all that kind of stuff, and the whole time Monero was quietly cruising higher, and it seems like not many people were talking about it, but this was a beautiful run. It did form bearish Harami reversal pattern here on this candle on the 21st, and that pattern was confirmed yesterday on the 22nd. Now today you have bullish Harami reversal pattern forming off of middle Bollinger Band support here at 309. So it has to stay above 309. If 309 holds, then it could push higher. Right now it's trying to break EMA 8 currently at 369. If it can get above EMA 8, then it's got it. Then EMA 4 at 393 is the next key level. Notice how the chart was super strong when it was riding EMA's 4 and 8 support higher. Once it gets back above EMA's 4 and 8 and you're a bull, then you're looking for a break above 470. If it fails to get back above EMA's 4 and 8, then you're going to see this middle Bollinger Band support tested again. If it drops below middle Bollinger Band at 309, that's going to signal downside risk. Once again, look at that long lower wick. Like, how are these guys able to load down here? I highly recommend you watching the video. You're going to see in real time how it dropped down, and it was literally like 10 minutes where you could have jumped in and got these stocks at these low levels. They dropped down for like a couple of 5-minute candles, and then bam, they were right up again. So if you weren't on this at like 12:30 at night on freaking Thursday night, going to early Friday morning, and you weren't an accredited futures trader, there was no way you were going to land these low levels. It was so cooked. I mean, they've just rigged this game so freaking hard, and so just know that it's a rigged game. So the only way you're going to win is if you follow the charts. If you're one of those people just thinking everything's going to the moon and you're just going to hold forever, good freaking luck to you. All right, you really need to come check out our chat, because it's nothing goes straight up. And why not take the big rips? Like when this bearish Harami reversal pattern formed, and you had the climax spike right here on the 19th. That was the signal to lock in gains on EOS. Why be a hero? Everything else was breaking down. Notice that it did end up dropping all the way down to the middle Bollinger Band. I did put out alerts to everyone. I mean, it went from being up here at 12.50 and it dropped all the way down to $3. Okay, so and this drop here was crazy. I had that in real time, and it was unbelievable how it dropped so low and bounced back so fast. It was just it looks like the penny stocks. If anybody has any experience with over-the-counter stocks, it was crazy manipulation. It was just not fair how it worked out. I mean, it never should have dropped down to $3. Just watch the video and you'll see what I'm talking about. Notice that bullish Haremy reversal pattern has formed today. As long as it stays above the middle Bollinger Band at 677, that uptrend is intact. Once again, it's below EMA's 4 and 8. If that pink line crosses the line to the downside, that's going to signal downside risk. We're getting a technical bounce today on all these stocks or all these cryptocurrencies. But the big thing is if they don't get back above EMA's 4 and 8, it's going to be a red flag. This could just be a one-day technical bounce. So it's going to be all based on these two moving averages. So keep an eye on them. If they get back above, then you're like, okay, the chart's healthy again, it's cruising. But if they turn into resistance, you are going to see a pullback to that middle Bollinger Band. And if that middle Bollinger Band breaks for candles that are above, it is going to signal more downside risk. Okay, let's look at IOT. Okay, this is another one that we've charted really well. It had that great breakout. We put out alerts way down here, in the 50-cent range. We were on top of this below 50 cents. I'd been putting out alerts. It was down here. What was that? In the 50s. And I'd been on this, and I'm not even saying that it was even me I located this through StockTwits, and so I recommend people checking out all the cryptocurrency traders and all the information. They have some great, it's a great way to stay on top of the hottest plays if you get these cryptocurrencies on your watch list. And so this was brought to my attention on StockTwits, and I started putting out alerts down here at 50 cents, and it turned out to be a huge winner. I mean, it was 1,000% gainer. I mean, look at this. We're going from 50 cents up to all the way up to $5.78. I mean, that's over 1,000% gain in less than 2 months. And so everybody's talking about Bitcoin making 1,000% gain when it did in a year's time. Some of these cryptocurrencies do that in a matter of weeks. Okay, so don't get too caught up on just one cryptocurrency. If you're a cryptocurrency trader, the real money is learning how to read the charts and jumping on whatever has the very strong chart. What we are concerned about is the pattern. I could care less what the name of this freaking cryptocurrency is. All I care about is the freaking pattern. That's what counts. We trade patterns. We don't trade ticker symbols. We're all about we follow the patterns. The patterns never change ever. They always stay the same. If you learn the patterns, you're going to be one wealthy person. If you freaking don't learn the patterns, you're going to get burned. It's all about the patterns. So follow the charts and not the chatter. And so this was breaking out above it broke out above resistance. So we drew this resistance line at 495. It broke above, and then it formed bearish Haremy reversal pattern on the 20th. That pattern was confirmed on the 21st. And then yesterday, unfortunately, it dropped below the middle Bollinger Band. That was a really bearish move yesterday. Okay, and now it's below the bottom of this channel. So you can see where it had previous support from this the bottom of this channel here was a key support level, and so it dropped below. So that's another red flag. It's back above that level now. It's back into this sideways channel, but it has to stay above, what is that, 357, and then it has to get back above the middle Bollinger Band at 413. Okay, so if we can get back above 413, then you're talking about a run back up to 495, and then on this chart, the huge level is up here at 531. Once it's back above 531, it can head higher. If it fails to break that middle Bollinger Band up here at 413, that's going to signal downside risk, and you're going to see that lower Bollinger Band tested again at 292. This one was freaking crazy because it dropped all the way down to $1 when it dropped, and it was on such light volume. I mean, it went from starting the session, it was all the way up here at $4.72, and they dropped it to $1 on nothing. I mean, how are they able to do that? And then they loaded heavy. I mean, and then all of a sudden they're up hundreds of percent. It was so rigged, you guys. It was not even fair. Okay, so just know that the game is cooked, and it's not a fair game here. This is unregulated trading. That means people can manipulate the crap out of it. Once they started, CME and CBOE started their futures trading, and now we have a lot more coming. You can expect a lot more. The CNBC kept saying, "Oh, it's going to provide balance. This is going to create stable markets." Are you kidding me? Look at all these wicks. It did the complete opposite. This did not create stability. Futures trading did not make the charts more stable. They made them more erratic. I mean, each one of these charts has the long lower wick. Each one of them was completely manipulated. That did not happen before futures trading. Before futures trading, you did not see big, huge drops like that and big pullbacks at 12 o'clock at night. Okay, so whoever was trying to, don't drink the Kool-Aid and believe what everybody's trying to tell you, but just follow the charts. The charts are telling you that futures trading is creating mad volatility. It's creating more volatility than they had before. It's creating more dramatic moves. That pullback we haven't seen those kind of bearish moves. We've seen bullish moves where it runs up and pulls back, but we haven't really seen the bears attack like that until they started the futures trading. Okay, GRC.X. And remember, these are all just my opinions, and I could be right or I could be wrong, and I'm not claiming either way. I'm just expressing my own viewpoints on the situation. So yeah, thank you for listening and thank you for watching this video. For GRC.USD, the big level to break is up here at 10 cents, 10.01. If it can get above 10.01, that's going to signal it wants to push higher. It formed a bearish engulfing reversal pattern here, and it hasn't confirmed that pattern. It got manipulated all the way down here to 5.3. They cut it in freaking half. They had the huge bounce back. I mean, for no reason. I mean, was there news? Was there a reason to drop it and then bounce it back? Was there, with stocks, you'll have some sort of news. You'll have like a catalyst, like, oh, their FDA trial went bad, or oh, they had bad earnings, and so it drops. These are dropping for no reason at all and bouncing back for no reason at all. I mean, these are great trading vehicles, but you have to be on the right side of the trade. And so right now, this has a nice uptrend. So a break above 101 or 10.1, that signals it wants to head higher. If it drops below 0.07887, that signals downside risk. If it gets below the middle Bollinger Band, that'll signal a downtrend. Right now, the uptrend is still intact and it's back above EMA's 4 and 8. And one more to leave you on is SALT. This is the one, and they're running out of time here. I haven't been really following the due diligence on this, but everybody's waiting. They put out all this information about a lot of things in the works that are coming. This is a lending company, and we were looking for a key break above 0.061. I had been posting that for actually the last couple of months. Okay, so since November, when it ran up to that level, to the 661 level, the 0.0061 level, I said that was the key level to break. It pulled back, it came back up to that level, and then it finally broke above on the 21st. So when everything else was getting crushed, SALT was breaking out. It was a pretty interesting bullish divergence. So I highly recommend you, I highly recommend you taking a very, 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 very close look at SALT, okay? Because this is a very bullish development. I mean, think about it. I just showed you all those charts of just complete breakdowns of stocks being under, or cryptocurrencies under mad pressure. We're talking about, ones that have broken below the middle Bollinger Band. We're talking about downtrends, big time pressure, and SALT is holding up really good, okay? So this is very bullish, all right? If it stays above 6.1, the signal is to keep riding. I would use 6.1 as your stop loss, and I would not hold if it drops below 6.1 just because it could signal more consolidation. If 6.1 holds, keep riding for that longer term swing trade. As soon as good news comes out on this thing could really skyrocket. At 0.071, 0.0071 is now the big level to break. Okay, thank you very much for viewing this video. Oh yeah, one more to leave you with is TRXX. I don't know, they don't have the charts on TradingView for TRX.X. I need to find a better chart for them, but it keeps cruising. This is one that I have been alerting. It's another one that I found on StockTwits. I'm not claiming that I found this stock or anything, but thank you, StockTwits, for everybody that's on here and sharing the information. This was brought to my attention back here in December. We were on this at low levels. I started learning it when it was at 1 cent, back here below a penny, and actually, I really was. I was on this below a penny, putting out alerts. It took off running. It's been up hundreds of %, and just keep an eye on TRX.X. It's bucking the trend. It's been having a really nice strong uptrend. And just for everybody that would like to know, you can come check me out at our chat. We have a new chat going. You can come to this my profile page here, and then you just hit the Discord link, and then that'll lead you to our new chat. And then you can come in the chat, and when you get into the chat, if you decide you want to become a premium member, you can subscribe at mychartcoach.com. What you can do is you just go to the mychartcoach.com website. It's really easy, and then you come to you just hit the get started level here. And then here, sometimes this internal error thing happens, and it's a freaking pain in the butt, and I'm trying to get it fixed. But if you re-hit it again, it will work. So I apologize to everybody. And here's the monthly membership. You can select here. You know, for $20 a month, that's only coming up to around 66 cents a day. If you go ahead and get the 1 year for $15 per month, that's only 50 cents a day. For 50 freaking cents. What can you buy for 50 cents? My 6-year-old son says nothing. But for 60 cents, you can have a monthly membership to our chat. Okay, so you could come to our Discord chat, and you could be a part of all these great picks at low levels. And it's all about entry point. Remember, it's EPI. Entry point is everything. EPIE. It's all about the entry point. And to learn about good entry points, come to our chat. Okay, thank you. Have a great weekend. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays, everybody. I hope everybody has a safe and happy holiday. Thank you.